So we're back again with another webinar to show you the new features of the latest KISP Mobile 2.3.22 update. And as you've seen, we've made some major changes, and so today we'll be going over all the new features and functions. But before I get into it, good afternoon everyone, and welcome to our KISP Mobile webinar. My name is Franklin, and I'm the Product App Specialist for KISP and your webinar host. Now, I've been in the design industry for nearly 10 years now, both as a designer and in sales, and I've been lucky to work with some of the best on a few fabulous commercial and private projects, providing them with concept, design, and renderings. So I've also had the chance to work with many design tools like CAD and 3ds Max, but none of them as impactful as KISP is, which brings me to having the privilege of joining the KISP Mobile team. KISP is truly the most efficient and effortless visualization tool I've ever used, and it's only getting better. So I'm here now to help broaden the user's experience with KISP and also help make it the best tool you've ever used. Now let me introduce you to Julia, who will be moderating today's webinar. Julia?
Great, thanks Franklin. Hello everyone, my name is Julia. I'm the Marketing Specialist for KISP, and I will be your webinar moderator for today. From managing our KISP blog to updating our social media pages, I always want to make sure that our users have helpful resources available to enhance their KISP experience. But before we begin, if you have any questions for Franklin throughout the webinar, feel free to submit them in the chat box. It's just located on the GoToWebinar control panel on the right side of your screen. So I'll be monitoring all the incoming questions, and we'll take a few minutes at the very end of the webinar to answer them. During the webinar, we'll be answering questions related to the new user interface and search filters. However, all other questions that you may have, including technical support, will be answered with just a direct email from our KISP team after the webinar. So Franklin, let's get started.
All right, thanks again, Julia. So again, today what we're going to be doing is we're going to review the new features added to the KISP Mobile update. So I'll be going over the following. The new visual graphic sync countdown during sync, adding items with the new UI, searching for typicals by using our new search filters, adding freeform items, and lastly, the improvements to the quick sheet. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get started. Now, you can sit back and relax and enjoy the webinar, or you can follow along. And if you haven't already synced your KISP sample collection gallery, you should do so now. So I'm just going to go ahead and sync that. Okay, and as you all know, we have a two-step sync process. The first process is we get into the data sync portion, which syncs the manufacturer's text data, and the iPad is locked at this moment. So here you know you can't go into anything else other than really viewing the data sync as it's following along. And then we get into the graphic sync portion, which syncs all graphics. Now, many people have asked us, how do I know when my sync is completed? So what we did was we included a new visual graphic sync countdown bar to indicate the graphic data syncing down from the cloud. And as you can see at the very top here, it indicates that I have roughly around 32,000 items of 32,249 that is currently being synced down from the cloud. Okay? So let's go ahead and continue to the project gallery screen. And then what we're going to do is we're going to begin a new project. All right. So first off, let's go ahead and tap on the Add Item button. And as you all know, we've made major changes to the Add Item screen, and that's why you're all here. So Julia will quickly explain the new feature.
All right, so we've made these changes to enhance the user experience, as well as just to provide a visual aid of the items and typicals that you'd be searching for. So think about it like a sales brochure with vivid images of the products without the clutter around it, allowing you and your client to focus on what's necessary. When the details are required, you can simply tap the item and the details are right there. It truly comes to life when you're sitting with your client, flicking through the HD images of the typicals or items, allowing them to envision their new space. And once you see the right typical or item that you want, you can tap on it, add it to your scene, and now customize it accordingly. So I'll let Franklin continue to illustrate these enhanced visuals.
All right, thanks again, Julia. So what we're going to do is we're going to restart a search. So if you're following along, let's go ahead and go back into the Add Item menu here. We're going to tap on Reset All, and then we're going to tap on Close. All right, so now we're going to tap on Add Item again. And as you do that, you'll notice that the catalog filter opens up automatically and lists all the catalogs that you currently have synced to your iPad. Now, here you can also tap on the planning typicals and view all the galleries or planning typical galleries which you already have synced to your iPad as well. So today what we're going to do is we're going to find the KISP sample collection gallery, and we're going to tap on that, and then we're going to go ahead and tap By Typicals. So here you'll see a gallery list appear in a menu, as well as larger thumbnails in the background. Now you can continue tapping through the actual catalog list, drilling down to a specific typical that you like to use, or what you can do is you can tap out of the menu, and you can now view all the larger thumbnail images of the typicals in a presentation style with your client. And flicking up and down allows you to go through this, and when you find the typical that you want to use, all you need to do is tap on it, and you're now in full screen viewing the typicals in high quality. All right? So here you can flick left or right, which allows you to view the typicals in full screen, giving you and your client a better visual of the typical with minimal clutter. And if you need more details, all you need to do is tap on the details at the bottom right corner, and that will show you some product details of the typical or item that you're looking at. Now all you need to do is tap X to close the details, and then if you tap the image once more, what you'll get is a larger image with all the details removed. And now you just have a high quality image which you can actually flick through with your client and view it like in a photo gallery format. Now this truly allows you to start the conversation by presenting these typical ideas with your client. There really isn't anything like this tool on the iPad, as you can start with an idea, develop a concept, customize the item, and then follow through with a rendering. All right, so now what we're going to do is we want to add it to the scene, so we're going to tap the image once more, and then we're going to tap on Add to Project. And then you can see here that this pretty much has remained unchanged. So what we're going to do is we're going to place our finger on the thumbnail here, and we're going to drag it onto our floor grid. And now I'm just going to quickly go through this and adjust it. And there we go. So now would be a good time to save this project. So I'm going to go ahead and assign it a new name. And today what I'm going to do is we're going to call it Webinar. Okay, and then we're going to tap on Projects, and we're going to quickly save that. And there we go. So now I'm just going to quickly go back into that saved project, and we're going to continue on with another search. So what we're going to do here is that we're going to tap on Add Item again, and then we're going to tap on Back to continue with our new search. Now this time what I'm going to do is I need to clear my results. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to tap on that X you see beside the catalog filter, and then I'm going to tap on Catalog once more to open up that filter. So this time what I need to do is I want to do a search of an item from a manufacturer using the manufacturer's catalog. So what I'll do is I'll be using National for this example, but you can follow along using one of your favorite manufacturers. Now what I need to do is I need to find a chair. So let's go ahead and find National, and then we're going to tap on National Seating or Catalog NL1. And first what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap on Standard Models, and I'm going to flick down searching for Swift. Okay, and there we go. Now my client requires a mobile lounge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap on it, and then I'm just going to keep tapping on the first option that appears until I get down to the final product. So here we are. Now for all you power users, this is important. I'm going to double tap this image here to add it to my scene. Now let's go back by tapping on Search, and then on Catalog again. So if I continue tapping, it proceeds to the full screen where tapping Add to Project is required. Now this adds 2 more additional taps than we're used to. So using the double tap function allows you to quickly build a scene, leaving us with the exact same amount of taps as before. All right? So let's now go back into the Add Item menu again, and we're going to tap on Reset All. And we're going to continue with another search. So this time what I'm going to do is we're going to go back into the Kit Sample Collection Gallery. Let's go ahead and open that up. And then we're going to go ahead and tap on By Product. And then now I'm going to use the seating catalog. And as you can see here, it now lists all the seating options I now have available from that catalog. And remember, as I said, the last example, all I need to do is I need to double tap on this image or of the model that I want to use for my scene. So I'm going to go ahead and double tap on 2165, and I'm going to drag that into my scene. All right, now I'm just going to tap on the search back here, and I just want to go through a few other methods of adding items to your scene. As you can see, in the thumbnail images here, you can see a plus icon at the top right corner of each image. If I tap on that plus icon, that will also allow me to add that product into the scene. Now going back, if I just double tap the image itself, that also gets me back into the scene. Okay, so let's go ahead and add that seed there. All right, Julia?
Great. So here are some quick takeaways from the new Add Item screen. Searching using the catalog filter is really simple and straightforward. For those of you that have to know a lot of product or even new to the scene, this is a great way for you to identify visually the manufacturer's products. Large enriched images will help your client envision their new project. And for power users that use more catalogs and typicals, using the double tap feature in the sidebar menu saves you really a lot of time. So I'll let Franklin continue with the next search filter.
All right, thanks a lot, Julia. So in addition to searching by catalog, you can also search by price, type, or by using the search bar. So let's first go back into the start of the, at the very beginning of the gallery by tapping on catalog, and then tapping on this back arrow twice. Okay, so now we're at the very beginning of the catalog. So what I want to do here is I'm going to tap out of the menu and tap on price. And you can see here, I do have these sliders here where I can set a price range. So I'm going to set the first value to 4,000 and the second value to 16. And there you have it. Now I'm going to tap out of the box, and now I'm going to view my results. So here I have 5 typicals and 1 item found in the KISP sample collection gallery that all fall under the filter price range which we just set. And if I wanted to further filter my results, all I need to do is tap on type. And here it'll allow you to select either items only or typicals only. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to filter down by tapping items only, leaving me with 1 result. So let's go ahead and add this to the scene by tapping on the plus icon. And then now I'm going to drag it onto my floor grid. All right, so at this moment, I'm just going to quickly adjust this scene. So I'm going to go into my plan view. Let's quickly zoom in. And let's just set that there. And now let's quickly fix these chairs. Okay. There we go. Go back to 3D view. And now let's assign some finishes. Now you guys are the designers today, so you can go ahead and pick any fabric or color that you like. I'm just going to quickly go through this. And let's go with a nice neutral here. Okay. And last but not least, pick that one. And now I'm pretty satisfied with that, and that looks pretty much complete. So let's go back into the Add Item menu. And then again, we're going to tap on Reset All, and we're going to do another search. Now this time we're not going to set any filter at all. What we're going to do is we're going to do a global search across all the catalogs and planning typicals that we have synced to our iPad. We're going to search for a specific item this time. So let's go ahead and tap out of the menu and then tap into the search bar. And just so you know, this isn't a Google search. This feature recognizes only exact phrasing of the model ID or model summary, and that's also dependent on what the manufacturers have provided us. Okay. Now, since I know the model ID of the item I need, I'm going to enter 50T2 in the search bar, and then we're going to quickly search for that. All right. So again, as you can see, what it's doing is it's searching or doing a global search against all my content, now giving me 2 results. And even though there's more than 1 result of the same item, they are both correct. And that's because the search results will find every instance of 50T2 found in either the model ID or summary in any catalog or planning typical. And in this case, it's found the item in our KISP sample collection planning typical gallery and in Knoll's catalog. And so just to reiterate, if the same model is used in more than 1 catalog or gallery, its duplicates will also be included in the search results. And that's why, and that's the reason why you'll sometimes see duplicate typicals or items in one of your searches. All right, so on to the next search. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a typical sales scenario here. So I'm working with a client that needs to extend their work surface area by adding a return. Now their current set is from Kimball's Priority series. So I'm going to tap Priority Return in the search bar, but first I'm going to tap on the X in the search bar to clear that search, and then I'm going to tap in Priority Return. Okay. And as you can see here, it results in 0 items found. And that's because it's searching for items with exact phrasing of priority return. Now, I can do a search for either just priority or just return, giving me some kind of results. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a global search, and I'm just going to search for return. And then further refine this search result by filtering by tapping on Catalog. And since I know it's Kimball that I need to use, I'm going to tap on Kimball. And now I'm going to tap on Priority. So now you can see that we've gotten a little bit more granular with our search, as it's now searching only for Kimball Priority returns. Okay, and if we take a closer look at the summary details, you can see that both words priority and return are indicated but are separated by other details. This is the reason why our first search for priority return gave us 0 matches, and that's because the search function requires exact phrasing only. All right, so let's go ahead and clear our search results one more time, and we're going to start a new search. But this time, we're going to search for typicals using descriptive words. So let's tap out of the menu and tap in the search bar, and what we're going to do is we're going to tap in collaborative open office. And there we go. So let's go ahead and search for that. So again, it's searching against all the content that we have synced on our iPad, and now showing that no matches are found, and that's because no typicals contain this exact phrasing. So please remember that this search function only searches word for word and even dash for dash. So let's search by singular word and try collaborative only. And as you can see, it automatically shows me quick results. And that's because there are quite a few manufacturers that use the word collaborative. Now, just remember, some manufacturers may use collaborative, others may use collaborate or collaboration. So how do we get maximum results? What we suggest doing is searching by the first few letters, such as collab, or a partial word, which now provides us with all items or typicals containing the partial word collab in its summary. All right, Julia?
Great, thanks, Franklin. So here are some takeaways from using the search bar. For best results with your searches, use exact phrasing. For finding specific items and typicals, use model IDs or typical IDs. You can also search descriptive words like Franklin just showed you, partial or full. And don't forget, there's no spell check, so make sure your spelling's a bit better than Franklin's. And, and lastly, using the search is a great way for you and your client to view all possibilities. So I'll let Franklin illustrate this with a quick example.
Thanks a lot, Julia. Okay, so one of the great values of the search bar is being able to drill down to a specific item and all its options and variants without having any clutter at all. So for instance, what I want to do is I'm going to search for another national chair. So I'm going to tap in ideate. And what it's going to do is it's going to search for all the Triumph chairs with the model reference of 88X. And now you can see here, I can actually now view all the HD images of this chair with my client. And we can choose between task chairs, desk chairs, chairs with arms, chairs without arms, etc. So this is the power of being able to view items in a presentation view with your client. All right? So now what we're going to do is we're just going to go on to our next feature. And most of you know how to use this function, but in case this is the first time you've even heard of it, I'm going to take you through the steps. Okay? So what I want to do now is I'm going to go ahead and we're going to create a freeform item. So if an item is not available, you can create your own using Add Freeform. Okay? So we're going to tap on Add Freeform, and you can see here what it's asking us is to fill out some of the required fields. Now first, what is a freeform item? A freeform item is basically an item without a graphic that contains a model ID, description, and pricing value that we assign that you can add to your project. Okay, so this is a great way to include custom line charges or custom items including specials and items not found in the catalogs but are still available. Okay, so I'm going to quickly demonstrate this, but just so you know, I want you all to stay tuned because we will be hosting another webinar covering all the uses for freeform. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly go into this and assign some required fields here. So I tapped into the model number, and I'm going to add a line charge. So I'm going to tap ZZZ, and the reason why I'm tapping ZZZ is so that this line charge appears at the bottom of my list. All right, so we're going to tap in installation. This is going to be an install charge. And now I'm going to assign a price. Now, it's out of province, so I won't come cheap. I'm going to charge them $5,000 for install. And just so you know, I didn't add the $sign when I tapped that in. I only added the numerical value. Okay? So now that this is ready, what we're going to do is we're going to place our finger on the camera icon, and we're going to drag it into our scene. And as you can see, dragging the item into the project indicates that the freeform item has been added to the project, but see List View. So let's go ahead and tap out of the menu, and now tap List View. And as I said before, I wanted that line charge to appear at the bottom, so I'm going to flick all the way down, and there's my freeform line charge. Okay, there's my $5,000 value, and my total sell price has been adjusted. All right, so let's quickly go back into 3D view. And now what I want to do is I'm going to prep my scene for a quick rendering. Now this is a quick tip for all of you. Normally what you should do is you should present your rendering in a way that really illustrates all the details of the layout that you created. So in this case, I like to always use a southwest view. So I try to make sure that the layout fits that view. As you can see here, my client can see everything that's actually happening in this presentation here. So I like this perspective. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create the HD rendering by tapping on HD render. And then for this example, we're going to quickly use good quality fast. Now remember, when client facing, we always suggest you use the first option, good quality fast, as it will normally take between 15 to 30 seconds to generate your rendering. All right, so we're just going to wait for that to complete, and there you go. And now I'm going to quickly save that to my photo library, just in case I want to use it for later use. And now what I want to do is I want to create a quick sheet. So I'm going to go ahead and tap on the share icon. Now I'm going to tap on Create Quick Sheet. Let's quickly save this. And as you can see, the format hasn't really changed. So let's quickly fill in the fields. So I'm going to tap on Project Name, and I'm just going to assign this a quick name. We're going to call it the KiSP Office. And so you all, just so you all remember, whenever you assign a name here in the Quick Sheet, it only changes the name for the Quick Sheet, not for the project file itself. All right? And now I want to add that beautiful rendering that we just created. There we go. Now, as for pricing, I'm pretty satisfied with the pricing right now. We can certainly go and add a note. And I'm just going to say this is the KiSP Office PO layout. And now what I want to do is I'm going to quickly scroll to my item details. And as you can see here, I see my item details, the image of the actual item, the options and finishes, as well as the value of the actual item itself. Now, you do know that you do have the option of turning these details off. Or, and since you've asked for it, you can now turn off your options and finishes on the PDF document itself to hide those details. So I'm going to quickly do that. And you can now see that I now only have the image, the details, and just the value of the actual items, but I don't have the actual options and finishes listed here in my project. Okay, so this is a great way of delivering your estimation while protecting your bid. All right, so that's pretty much it, folks. We've now covered all the features in the new Kits update, and just like the first time you've used Kits, practice will make perfect, and I know it, you'll be a Kit star in no time at all. So I'm now just going to turn this over to Julia.
That's great. Thanks, Franklin. And if you ever need any extra help with the new Add Item menu or search filters, you can watch our in-app tutorial video. You just have to tap the question mark in the top right corner, and you can watch it right there. So we will now take some time to answer any questions that you may have for Franklin regarding the new Add Item screen and search filters. We have one question here from one of our viewers. Franklin, could you show us one more time how to get the browsing screen with the larger images for the typicals?
No problem at all. So let me just quickly go back into Kits. And I'm just going to reset all because I don't know what kind of filters we have set here right now. And now I'm just going to quickly go into one of my planning typicals. So again, you have multiple options of presentation style. So right now, if I tap out of the menu, I'm in my thumbnail preview, where I can see pretty much all the typicals that I have listed. I can further filter this down by tapping on Catalog, tapping on View Typicals. So now I'm strictly looking at just the typicals. And then if I tap on one of the typicals that I do like for instance this ACB-0200, that now brings me into a full screen mode. Okay, I do have some minor details. I can actually flick through this. Or if I want to truly go into a photo gallery format, all I need to do is tap on the image one more time, and now I'm in a true photo gallery format. So now I can actually view this with my clients without any clutter at all. There's no details, there's nothing. There's just images to inspire creation here. Okay?
Great.
So again, what you can do is you can tap one more time, and you'll get back into the full screen preview. I can tap on details to actually list all the details that have to do with this particular typical. Okay?
Perfect. And maybe you could also show our viewers how you get to the thumbnail preview when you first open the catalog menu bar.
Okay, great. So let's go ahead and do that. So again, we're going to reset all. And now I'm just going to close my Add Item menu. So let's just say we're working on our scene here. What we need to do is we need to add another item. So we're going to tap on the Add Item button. And whenever you do that, the catalog filter will automatically open, as you see here, showing you all the catalogs, or the option to look at your planning typicals. All right. So once you actually tap on that, you can see that the thumbnail the thumbnails in the background have automatically generated. And right now, I currently don't have any filter or any catalog that I'm specifically looking into. So Kits recognize this, and it's actually showing me all the typicals that I have synced to my iPad. That's from all the manufacturers or all the galleries that are created. All right. Now, if I want to specifically go into a manufacturer, I'm going to tap on the manufacturer. And for instance, here we can go by view by learning style. And now if I want to look at those thumbnail previews, all I need to do is tap out of the menu box, and that now lets me look at all the thumbnails.
Great. Thanks, Franklin. So it looks like we have another question and some feedback actually from one of our viewers. They write, I didn't see anything wrong with the old way of adding items. Why did you make the change?
This has been probably the one question that has been asked since the field research and beta testing. Now, we make changes to kits based on the user feedback that we get. So we kind of have to generalize its use for all users at different levels. So the result is what we gather from users. And since kits is a visual tool, it made sense to be able to visually present the galleries in a presentation-like view, just as I showed you here. Now, here the client can be immersed in beautiful renderings and high-quality images, allowing them to be fully engaged in the project with you. So just kind of think of it like a sales brochure. You just have beautiful images, no clutter around it, and it's sort of like looking at a beautiful picture book, which is my kind of book.
That's great. Thanks, Franklin. So it looks like those are all the questions that we have for today, which is great. Before we go, I just wanted to mention an exciting new program that we're running. Every Monday, we will be crowning one of our users from the Kids Community Collaborator of the Week. It's a way for us to share your positive experiences and successful stories. So if you are interested in participating, you can contact our sales team, Franklin, myself, or even the support team just to learn more. And there's also a pretty awesome reward in it if you send us a photo or a Kids experience. And also be sure to check out our Kids blog for upcoming webinars, new content, and even future updates. It's honestly the best place to go to see what's happening in the world of kids. So with that, I'd like to thank Franklin for hosting the webinar, showing us how to use this new Add Item screen and new search filters. And of course, I want to thank our awesome Kids users for attending this webinar today.
All right, thanks again, Julia, for moderating today's webinar. I'd also like to thank all of you for joining us today. Our user engagement is growing quite rapidly, and that's because of really all of you. So thank you so much for being part of our Kids community. I'd also like to invite you to all checking out our new campaign, the Collaborator of the Week, which is what Julia just mentioned. This is where you can read other users' experiences with kits and also contribute by adding yours. So don't worry, we'll gladly send you a small token of our appreciation with your participation. Thanks again for joining me, and please keep making kits your favorite visual sales tool to use.